This is KVCI.blogspot.com. I'm George Boston Rhymes on YouTube, Boston G.B.R. I decided to come down and interview someone that is very interesting here in Valdosta and Lowndes County. I have seen him many times at the City Council meeting and disagreed with him, agreed with him. But this morning we had breakfast and we decided that we would talk a little bit about this SPLOST monster here in Valdosta. What's your name, my beautiful brother?
Nolan Cox. I'm chairman of the Lowndes County Republican Party, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Tea Party here.
Okay. What is it that interests you? So I was at the last City Council meeting, and I mentioned that I was voting against it, mainly because I don't think the money is being used and spent where I think it needs to go, number one. Plus, it seems like when we vote a tax in, it never goes away. So give me a few talking points on it in terms of how do you feel about it, and I'm not getting you to, I'm not twisting your arm to tell me how you're going to vote on it, but just talk to me a little bit today.
I'm going to give you enough information. I think you'll know where I'm going.
All right, okay. But give us something, because you did have some interesting stuff about the money. I think you believe in following the money.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with politics, rule number one is follow the money.
Yes, sir.
And you'll find out what's driving it. And the interesting thing about this tax, you've got local and companies that do business with the city, engineering firms, construction firms, sewage treatment firms, plumbing companies that has contributed to the SPLOST. I've got a list of them here. They've donated $31,500 to promote it. And it's the normal suspects, the concrete companies, the asphalt companies. Now here's one that shocks me.
Yes, sir.
The Lowndes County Hospital, South Georgia Medical Center, is subsidized by the county to the extent they get tax breaks on their tax rates, and they've donated $2,500 to promote a tax on you and I, so they can get a piece of property where the library and auditorium is. Now the South Georgia Medical Center is landlocked. They don't have anywhere else to go in the block that they're in. So these two pieces of property are high value to them. Now what our city and counties want to do is sell them at the land value. Well, we've got a functioning library on there. We got a functioning auditorium. If I owned them in a recession like this, I'd repair them. Well, they want to tear them down, sell the land to the hospital. Now here's the hospital donating $2,500 for us to get a tax so they can get their land. And I think that would be a newspaper article.
But do you think that there's a possibility that, well, for instance, the City Council meeting wherein I stated that I was against it, but it wasn't published in the paper, you think that maybe there are people who are in favor of it? And I mean, do you think it's fair, the present process do you think it's fair?
George.
Yes, sir.
The chairman of the library committee to build the library is the editor of the local paper. That's why you ain't in the paper. Okay. And they're running front page ads promoting this, not ads, articles that doesn't cost their side anything. Yeah.
Right.
There's an old saying, don't ever get in a fight with people that buy ink by the barrel.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
They've got the upper hand in communications.
Well, like I've always said, it seemed like to me this has been going on for a long time, and I do intend to stay on top of it. It seems as if, though, those people who controls the media and the agenda of whatever they want the agenda to be, and therefore it's kind of like, it's hard to compete because they got the ears of the people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people vote for something that they don't understand, and we're not going to talk about that. But eventually, this is going to be clip one, but I want you to talk about what you were telling me about is this sample ballot. We're not going to talk about it right now, but this is just a prime example of what you're talking about. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Let's talk a little more about what we're going to.
Well, you know, for years, I moved here in 1980. I've watched this town. It's basically run by the Chamber of Commerce,
Okay.
the City Council, and the newspaper.
Okay.
If they agree on something, they sell it to the people, and the people end up following them. Now, what's interesting, the black community here is organized.
Okay.
Through the Tea Party, we're organized. That's why we're sitting here talking to one another, is we got something in common that we can work on.
You can on that. That's right.
And, you know, when you're dealing with political issues, there's an old saying that politics make strange bedfellows.
Yes, sir.
Well, I ain't gonna get in bed with you, but I'll work with you.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, I'm sure that a lot of people are gonna wonder, why am I sitting here talking to you? This morning I was sitting down with Ashley Paul, former sheriff, and of course, a lot of people know that we had our differences about the jail, and still I have some problem with the jail. But at the same time, there come a time when we have to come together and help save our government from itself. And so I just thank you for coming and sitting down and talking. We had breakfast this morning, and this is clip one. I want to let you close this segment out mainly with the news media and how you think they are controlling us, or really just getting more information out because they have access to it. While we get ready to close this clip out, tell us that.
Well, like I said, the chairman of the library committee is the editor of the local newspaper. So you think you're gonna get any bad press? They're not gonna give the library any bad press or SPLOST. So it's a conflict of interest of the worst type.
All right. Well, you all heard this is clip one. Next we're gonna go into another segment of something that's very interesting, I believe, especially to the people on the south side of town. But just like Brother Nolan have said, though we are coffee drinkers or tea drinkers, there come a time we all got to sit down at the table and enjoy ourselves, and that's what we plan to do. Bye-bye, we're gone.